Hello, my name is Will Bowler. I'm a part of Sigma Chi. I joined Sigma Chi when I was a freshman in college in 2012. As back then we were still a colony. We were not yet a chapter or charter yet. And what got me into Sigma Chi was mainly the history of how the fraternity formed. One of the predecessors that a lot of the founders enjoy and revere the most was Emperor Constantine of the Eastern Empire, who unified Roman, well, both parts of the empire back then, and was the first of the Roman emperors to legalize Christianity to make it what Christianity is today. Uh, you know, my RA, my freshman year, his name was Bill, Bill Shivy, yes. And he showed me the manual for Sigma Chi called the Norman Shield. And at first, in my mindset, I was playing college football and I had no plan whatsoever to join fraternities because when you first go to college as a freshman, you had that stereotypes of fraternities and Greek life of all they want to do is Animal House and party and just not really be a student athlete. But the moment I read the Norman Shield, it for some reason it opened my eyes how Sigma Chi transpired, how it made me a better man and a better gentleman and made me a better student. If it weren't for Sigma Chi, I would never have passed college. It kept me in college for 6 years. Because I'm from Florida, so home is about 6-7 hours away. And for these guys up here, they became a second family. It's a family for life, and a lot of people don't understand about that in fraternities. Is that it's a family, and the moment you graduate, it's I'm still hang out with these guys. I still keep in contact with them. They mean a lot to me. These guys, you get really attached. You really grow with these individuals, and that's probably one of the greatest things about small chapters is that you know each and every member personally, and that's one of the very positive things I like about my chapter. And when I first joined, we were still a colony, so we were technically pledges. And we were pledges for about 3 years. And it was no easy task. It took a lot of hard work and dedication and basically blood, sweat, and tears. And, we had rough times, but we had good times. But overall, each and one of us believed in each other. And that towards the end, with our hard work, we were able to get our charter and our chapter. And that was probably one of the greatest feelings in the world was getting that a white badge upon my chest from the Grand Council of the fraternity. And that, no words can describe that. That was probably one of the best feelings of my life when I got that. 3 years of hard work and finally being paid off. I actually enjoy that initiation more than getting my bachelor's degree. So because that's how much it meant to me working to that and just being with those guys. But yeah, for college fraternities today, it's always a challenge just to work with each other, especially other fraternities. Because when I first joined, it was only us and Kappa Sigma, and back then Sigma Chi was mainly athletes, so I could, I could correlate more a lot of those guys because back then, when you're a student athlete, it's a full-time job. You got football, you got school, and then you have fraternity life. So you really have to really work on your time management. But I took the challenge, and I prevailed in it, and I really enjoyed it. Even though the only off days I really had was Sundays, and that was in between football films and chapter meetings for Sigma Chi. But I don't regret a single thing. I enjoy every little bit of it. And I remember my last day as an active member, because I graduated in 2016 and I got my master's in 2018. It's just, it was a really tough day as my last day as the last night as active brother for Sigma Chi. It was just a big roller coaster, and it was the end of the ride. And but to this day, the thing about Sigma Chi is that you're in it for life. There's no 4 years and then, you're done. No, that's not how it is for this fraternity. Once you join, you're in it for life. You can meet any Sigma Chi from all walks of life, from a different ethnic group, race, or religion. We are all men who strive for friendship, justice, and learning. And that's the purpose of Sigma Chi. is to embrace diversity and bring in all guys from all walks of life. And that's really what got me into it a lot. And I've talked to Sikhs who are in their 80s and 70s, and they still retain the spirit of youth. And, that's one of my goals, is to keep that spirit of youth and be the leadership and set the standard or example for what young men need to do these days. But any more questions? I don't know, I rambled on, but so.
We'll give a quick history.
Oh, quick history. Yeah, so Sigma Chi, it started in 1855. So basically, my math is not great, but a couple years precluded the American Civil War. It began in the University of Miami, Ohio, which is it's a small little college in Ohio, and the first 6 members of Sigma Chi were from another fraternity called Delta Kappa Epsilon, or Deeks. And what happened was that one of the members was vying for a position as back then was a poet, and one of the guys got the position based on loyalty and the connections he had. And the other members in the chapter disagreed with that and said that this guy has more merit, he has more skill, he's the go-to guy, he deserves this. And they created a division in that chapter to the point where the 6 of those members, they decided to break off and create their own fraternity. And back then they were known as Sigma Phi, and then they changed it to Sigma Chi because the Betas, because Miami, Ohio had the Miami Triad, so it was us, Beta Phi, Betas, and DKE or Phi Deltas, if my memory is correct. But in 1855, 7 founders of Sigma Chi created the fraternity, and they based a lot on the Roman Empire. So you got a consul, you got proconsul, you got quaestor, you got magister or teacher, custos, which I was custos, which is sergeant arms. Other positions I did was annotator, historian, and a bunch of other roles within the chapter. But I've really enjoyed custos, being a sergeant at arms, being part of the ritual. But yeah, initially after 55, American Civil War, you had a couple of the chapters in the South that joined the Confederate forces, unfortunately, and they fought. And they actually, what you call, created the Constantine chapter in Atlanta, Georgia, during Sherman's campaign to Savannah. Is basically total war tactics that crippled the South and basically fuel for the war to end quickly. And a couple of those members, I think St. John Dixon, they initiated a couple of members in the Constantine chapter before they were routed from Sherman. So, and after that, I forgot what they call the stages. I don't know if I should say this, but extreme hazing, where today we have a community outreach app. I forgot the name of that, but it's basically for people who have any type of mental health issues, or people who are in contact for sexual assault awareness, or a guide to a suicide hotline if you or a loved one are experiencing these mental health problems. I think it's the Sigma Chi outreach app. I forgot the name of it. But it's a great tool for if you have a friend or you yourself are going through the trials and tribulation of college, especially when you're on your own. It's no easy task to be working a full-time job and trying to juggle it with college. And I don't I don't miss those 8 a.m. classes. I don't miss waking up at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. or the night before of doing a paper or cramming for the exam. I understand the hustle and the grind. It's no easy task. It's a lot of stress in college. It really is. And one of the great, for me, the benefits of helped me relax, helped me blow off steam was being with my Sigma Chi brothers. Is basically I could lean my shoulder against somebody, or rest my head on somebody else, and it just made the experience so much better, especially without having problems with home. I could discuss with my fraternity brothers, and we would talk about it, or if it's other things that would occur in life that you would talk to your fraternity brother about, and they would help you out. And I'm going blank by this point. Another question for me to answer?
Yeah, that's it,
So
you covered it all.
Better.
Yeah.
My name is Bryce Parson. I'm a senior here at Cumberland University. I'm majoring in business administration. I was initiated into the Sigma Chi Nu chapter in the fall of 2017. When I first got initiated into the fraternity, I was the annotator. I took notes during chapter and also during EC meetings, which is our executive committee of our top 5 officer positions. I was also alumni relations, so I was the middleman between the brothers in the chapter, relating information between them and also our alumni. After that, in my sophomore year, I became Magister, or the Pledge Educator. I was that for 2 years, my sophomore and my junior year. It was probably the best experience I had within the fraternity. I was able to initiate numerous brothers into the chapter, teach them the lessons that I learned as a pledge and also as a brother, and teaching them the symbols, ceremonies, and teachings of our fraternity. I was also at the time scholarship chair, so I was in charge of making sure everybody had their grades in check, making sure we met one of our standards of being a student of fair ability and also being a man of good character. I would set up appointments for those who were struggling in certain classes. I would have study all hours and making sure we got our obligations in order. Looking back as a senior, I feel as though we had definitely leaving the chapter in a better place than when we left it. Upon initiation, I never really understood what it took to be a leader within Sigma Chi. Now as a senior, I understand the obligations of what I had taken and the duties that I need to fulfill. We're looking for men that are exactly that caliber. We have quality men. We're looking more so for quality rather than quantity.
With the ongoing pandemic, how do you feel the fraternities are going to approach the ever-changing climate today?
It's definitely going to be difficult with the pandemic that is currently going on. I feel like Cumberland University's done a great job with how each organization is going to be interacting with each other and also the potential members that we may have. I'm super excited. It's definitely going to be a challenging semester. May it go further on, hopefully it doesn't. But we're doing everything CDC guidelines regulates. May that be 6 feet for social distancing, washing our hands, individually packaging food, anything that we can do to better protect our potential members and our current members.
What from the fraternity standards do you feel like helps you go throughout everyday life?
One of the standards within the fraternity that has always hit home with me is the student of fair ability. Many people relate that to your grades you may have within high school or in college, but I relate that throughout my entire life. I'm a man that constantly strives to learn more, may that be within college, may that be with my social interaction with brothers or other potential members, or my interactions with men in the workplace or women in the workplace. Anybody that I can learn more about or learn more information to make myself a better man, I'm greatly appreciated for and will always strive to do so.
What are your main goals for Rush with it only being a few weeks away?
Final goal for the Fall Rush will definitely get to meet everybody that I can. The potential members are probably the most important and vital part of Sigma Chi, because that's what builds the reputation and the ongoing legacy of what Sigma Chi is. We're super excited for the Fall Rush, and we can't wait to meet you guys.